Neighbor's daughter, 19F, texted my 32F husband, 37M, happy birthday.
I'm not sure what to think of this. Friday was my husband's birthday. He wakes up at 4 a.m. to get ready for work every morning. Husband left his phone on the nightstand when he went to the shower. I heard his phone vibrate twice and saw the text was from Caroline, who's our neighbor's daughter. I unlocked the phone and saw that there were 3 messages from her in the thread. One said, "Night," the other 2 were from this morning, "Happy birthday," and the kissing emoji. I'm not sure what to think about this. My husband hasn't given any signs of having an affair. Caroline has babysat our kids a few times in the past, which is the reason for my husband having her number. His birthday went normal, and I didn't notice anything suspicious. Husband is an orthopedic surgeon and had a surgery on Friday, which I was able to confirm. Came home, we celebrated his birthday as a family. Had sex like usual, and nothing was off. Yesterday I had a long shift. Husband took the kids with him to his parents. Should I try to get more evidence before I confront him? Or do I do it sooner than later?
Only 3 messages? First one saying night? Any way to see deleted messages in the iCloud, because this sounds incomplete. Like they were talking and have been talking and husband deletes the texts to hide evidence.
Sounds like he deleted previous messages with them. Especially if the first one says, "Night," from her thinking face. I had suspicions with my ex and the girl who was renting from him. Also much younger. I went through and saw a conversation and it was very clear messages were deleted. I felt off about it. More and more digging confirmed I was right. Follow your gut. This is weird.
So she was texting him between 4:45 a.m.? Why would she do that unless she knew that's the time he regularly gets up? Sorry this whole thing is suspicious.
Has he since deleted those 3 texts you saw? And does she text you good night ever? This is suspicious as hell. There are obviously more messages that have been deleted. There is no use confronting him until you've gathered more evidence. Or he can just lie and deny, and get better at hiding things. My advice? Continue acting as though all is normal, but start paying close attention. Check his phone again as often as possible without getting caught. See if he deletes the messages you saw. See if you find any new ones. Bide your time and collect proof. Sis. Say nothing to either of them. You don't want to give them a heads up that you are suspicious. They will only get better at hiding things if something is going on. Go through credit card statements, phone records, social media platforms, to include hers, phone and laptops. Get screenshots and copies of anything remotely shady. Keep a watch on hubby and verify he is where he claims to be. If you find out that he's cheating, take your evidence and consult with the best divorce lawyer in your area. You need to know your options and what to expect if you decide to end the marriage. Talk to your husband after you know your options. Give him the opportunity to come clean and be honest before you tell him what you know. Hopefully, this is just a teen being silly. But always trust your gut. Either way, do not let her in your house or near your kids. Good luck, sis. Best advice is to remain acting and behaving as usual but become a detective. I know it sucks to have that feeling of snooping around, but this 100% warrants a closer, careful investigation. If you confront him now or let on that you know about those 3 messages, he will likely step up his covering up behaviors like deleting the message threads even more often, etc. There were 3 messages from her in the thread. One said, "Night," the other 2 were from this morning. He's talking to her and deleting messages. "Happy birthday" and the kissing emoji. You know exactly what's going on here. If you had previously used a male babysitter and they texted you a kissing emoji, Would you tell your husband? It's weird that he didn't tell you. It's weirder that she sent nice when there's nothing else on the thread. Seems pretty likely that he's deleting their text messages. You should be able to log into your cell phone carrier and see the phone numbers that he has been texting. You won't be able to see the texts themselves, but it should be a full log of texts sent and received, along with time and date stamps. That will tell you if there were more texts. This is very, very weird. He is obviously deleting their conversations. I would dig more.
Your husband is banging the babysitter. There you go.
Go into his phone again and when in Messages, click Edit on the top left and then click Recently Deleted. Are you sure it's Caroline's phone number and he doesn't have someone else's number stored under a name that wouldn't be too suspicious to have? A 37-year-old ortho surgeon messing around with the teenage babysitter is par for the course. Confront your husband. This is the only way. If he has an iPad, check text history. Their stuff deleted on the phone would show up there. However, if he really hasn't said anything, it could be her going after him really uncool. I hate to encourage snooping. Trust is fundamental in any relationship. That being said, why is another woman texting your husband a kissing emoji? This should be enough to bring to your husband's attention to spark a conversation. However, given that it's the only evidence to suggest inappropriate behavior, it could be used against you. Check for any recently deleted text conversations or check with your cell provider to see if you can get a copy of frequent phone numbers. If you can't find anything, I would still recommend you have a conversation with your husband. Sit him down and ask to see his phone and have him explain the text. Be prepared for the worst case scenario but hope for the best. It reads to me like they were texting and he fell asleep before her night came through. Everything before that is deleted. If she has his number to talk about the kids, then those texts should be in there too. And just the whole thing. Kissing emojis. This feels like a quintessential guy cheats on his wife with the much younger babysitter situation. Him not being with her on Friday doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, Op, but I just can't think of how this would make sense any other way. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. A 19-year-old girl isn't texting with a kiss to someone she just babysits for. Have you read any of their other conversations? Does she regularly text him good night? And if she is texting him good night, why isn't she texting you good night too? If she is just the neighbor's kid and a babysitter, then her relationship with you should be no different than her relationship with your husband. Unless there is more, I would confront her in person and ask her why she is sending your husband kissing emojis and good nights. See what her reaction is. She more likely to freak out and tell the truth on the spot than your husband. If nothing is happening, in the end she still needs to understand basic boundaries. I would refrain from using her as a babysitter moving forward. It's sad to say, but something seems to be going on between those two from the deleted messages and what time she sent those messages. I honestly thought, well, maybe it's one-sided, only coming from the babysitter's side, but if that were the case, a good husband who have discussed with his wife that the babysitter was acting inappropriately with him and to find a new babysitter. 19-year-olds don't normally send a blowing kiss emoji to their late 30s neighbor.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.